Between 150,000 to 200,000 of them are in Tamil Nadu. So that's all the more reason why we have the human resources which are very relevant to this. The other question that you were asking about how there are PR agencies for the government of Tamil Nadu or for guidance, I think the important point, and which is what is very important for us, is that existing investors in Tamil Nadu are facilitated through the process and are helped become effectively our best ambassadors. So that is something which is an important focus as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. Having said those 2 points, I think an indication of how we can achieve any of these objectives within the ambitious time frame was given by both of them in terms of the support that an investment proposal receives. As many of things which are within the control of the state government, of the government of Tamil Nadu, we try to ensure that the decision making is rapid, quick, and meets whatever requirements need to be met. It's true of the experience of Mr. Sai Baba with his previous companies. It's true of the experience of Mr. Sundarajan with his previous companies and the present company. There are certain issues, particularly relating to offshore wind, where some of the decisions are beyond what the government of Tamil Nadu can take, because the bidding process is controlled by the government of India. But we understand that that bidding process on offshore wind has already commenced, and we should be able to push through the investments quickly. We understand the frustration of some of the companies who have actually invested in manufacture of turbines and so on, and awaiting a policy framework, but I think that wait has virtually ended, and we are at a stage where we can push forward very rapidly, and whatever support onshore is required, we are more than happy. And I can also indicate that the electricity utility in Tamil Nadu has indicated a price at which they would be prepared to buy the offshore wind and all of that, so the whole process can go through. So that time frame is something that now will be set by the companies. We will support.
That you're not only producing green hydrogen, but you also transform it into e-methanol.
Well, for us, the essential thing is that we have something that we can use in our ships, and that's not the wind power. So it needs to go through a couple of processes. So including the last one with the biogenic. So of course that is important, and that's also why this is extremely a very, very good place. I completely agree with Søren that that's also what we hear, that this is where all the relevant ingredients, all the relevant resources are actually available all the way from the skills. Because one of the things that we also are very worried about is that from what comes in one end, the wind or the solar, and to what we can put in our ships, we can only use, it's only about 20% of what we initially had. So some of all these wonderful engineers, they should really use their time on figuring out how we get this 20 up, so that we can use a lot more of the incoming power. That would be excellent.
And Mr. Tambe, do you have an answer to that? How do you do the science and development here?
Absolutely. See, when I hear about the number of engineers that are necessary, that's absolutely true. The second part is quality, and also having engineers who have had hands-on experience. IIT Madras has ranked #1 in India for the last 7 years in developing engineers who are, top ranked in the nation. We have a lot of researchers who are focused specifically on green power. In fact, 50 of our about 600 faculty focus on the science and technology part of this. What's also important is, affordability has been mentioned in the morning. It is very important that we think of affordability right when we are thinking of the science side as well. So how can we get more and more thoughts in terms of economics of any technology is very important. That's a factor that we are having our researchers focus on a lot more. Economic modeling is very important to us, and we are trying to inculcate that as early in the technology development as possible for us. And in terms of having a workforce which knows this. I mean, when we in 2030 have people who are in the degree program today, they're going to be leading maybe part of the delegations that we see here tomorrow. So how are they going to be prepared? We have developed a lot of what we call dual degree programs specifically on energy systems, where we give them a flavor of different aspects of energy. So blend science with the knowledge of how actually it goes into productization or how it goes into services is equally important. And having that hands-on skill very early on makes them ready and prepared for this. So that's, I think, the essence in terms of how we are trying to cater to the need. Again, we've had also online programs, so that we feel is a very potent way of reaching out. How to make education affordable but also accessible is one thing that IIT focused on a lot. We have an NPTEL platform through which we are delivering a lot of online education, and someone mentioned COVID, and of course that was a period where we had to go to online, but even post that, I think we want to make sure that this is something which is available to a lot of people. We do a lot of certification programs also for this. So
the cost effective, if any company produces cost effective products, which we are good at it in India, and Acme is sort of the pioneer and low cost solar power producer. We broke the barrier of rupees 3 unit per unit. We are producing at 2 rupees 45 paise per unit. And Tamil Nadu is the best place for renewable energy. And we have the experience on solar, and we can cooperate in putting up any required in the solar. And Acme at the moment has a portfolio of 9 gigawatt in India, 2.5 gigawatt already in operations. And under construction another 3 gigawatt and 3.5 gigawatt in the drawing board. So we'll be one of the, we can cooperate with the new technology, and the resources we have here in India is phenomenal on the human resources and the technology, which we can definitely think of working for the cost-effective solutions.
And Søren, again, comparing this region and Tamil Nadu with other parts, do you think they have the necessary combinations of skills and will to make the green transition and make green...
Anywhere in the world, they are more or less look similar to Danish turbines. That means basically it's all Danish design which is adopted. And 5 million people, which is less than one district like Mr. Krishnan, what he has mentioned. 5 million people have created billions of dollars of global wind industry happening from Denmark, from 100 kilowatt turbine to going up to 3.5 gigawatt and offshore and all that. And I must say that I'm very lucky. When I returned from Denmark, I stayed back with green energy, starting with wind, solar, and now green hydrogen. 25 years of journey, and I've seen most of the time I spent here in Chennai, and I have built 2 facilities. One was Vestas India facility, the other one was Vikram Solar, where I've had a privilege of interacting with Mr. Krishnan. And I must give you this, during COVID period, we wanted to make an investment for Vikram Solar in India, in Chennai, and we made one information to guidance, and guidance immediately approached us and organized meetings within a week or 10 days. We have had a meeting with Industries Department, Mr. Muruganandam, Chief, Industries Secretary, at that point in time, and the entire senior management came on the call, and the whole thing was sorted out in less than a month's time, and we went into production in about 11 months' time during COVID period. So I'm just saying how it works in Tamil Nadu, how it works in India, how it works in the whole thing. I just wanted to give an example. Coming back to hydrogen, I think there is no better place than Tamil Nadu, I'm convinced, mainly because 2-3 things. One is it has got highest installed base of renewable energy, wind, solar in the country. And it has got, like Mr. Krishnan said, it has got abundant amount of resources available to make this happen here. And as Wombed having so many years of experience, we have chosen Tamil Nadu as the first destination to build 500 megawatt with about 100,000 tons of e-fuels. You know, so this is the place we have chosen, and I'm pretty sure that with the kind of a background of renewable background and Danish partnership, which is there, you know, I think Tamil Nadu is the right destination, and we are pretty sure that we will be successful here. And you said, I mean, it's a new company, Mumbai. We have had a team which is very, very experienced in the renewable energy and also in hydrogen. The huge team which we have with some of the people have built electrolyzers in the past, last 8-10 years. So an excellent team which will be able to deliver
of compelling reasons. I think we are in a situation, I think we need to acknowledge that, where a lot of national subsidies are being to this area. And I think what, unfortunately, for the coming years, also will determine where investments are going will be national subsidies. We've seen with the IRA package in the US that a lot of taxpayers' money are being invested now in the US in attracting investments. In the EU, we are having the same considerations right now. So we could easily get a situation where there is different regions in the world competing for investments. So I think there are a lot of good reasons why India and Tamil Nadu should be playing a key role in this, but I also think we need to realize that at the end of the day, it's the investment case that will decide where the individual investor decides to put his or her money, and I think that the part of the equation that we need.
About India, even if half of the ambitions are turned into reality by the time that is currently being planned, it is enormous what is going to happen here. So I think one of the things that I learn here as well is don't confuse an ambition with a target. An ambition is something you would like to achieve. You want to run a marathon but below 2 hours. Many people want to do it. Well, it's practically impossible. But it's okay to have that as an ambition. And I think this is something we can learn from India. Don't be afraid of fantastic ambitions. And if you achieve parts of it, it is still a fantastic job done. So I'm still confident about a good journey here, whether the targets are